Easy to do.
Hey,
It's a
welcome
good reset.
everybody. Today we will try to fill a sprint. We have Anthony Bestball on call with us today. I believe I meant to ask you in the pre-lobby. You're the one that came up with the term "Who Crew," correct? Is that Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Uh, you came up with the term "Who Crew," right? Like you were the one who started using that, I believe.
Yeah, it was me. If not, it was someone else in the chat. I don't
Yeah,
remember
I
who
remember you were
exactly it was,
there.
but I went along with it.
Yeah. So anyway, these can take a while to fill. So I'm entering a 30-second sprint right now. It's got 9 more. We will talk some ball as we do this. I'm going to have to remove Discord because everyone's messaging right now for some reason. And I cannot stand having a sound going. My ADHD will get to me. Uh,
Do you have
I
echo
can't
at
do
all?
it. I can't have noises going on. It's a problem. Um, so do you what schedules do you like for the postseason right now? You there, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm here.
Your For me, your sound is very light at the moment.
Yeah, I have an echo. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we will um yeah, I'm going to
Here,
have
let
to.
me leave and come back. I'll see if that fixes it.
Yep. I will have to mute my own server real quick. Um there we go. All right. So, how's everybody doing today? We got Scott, we got Fantasy Football Garage, we got Hartman, we got Green Bean, we got Aaron Sandy, we got Coolers. So today we will be doing a 20-second or a 30-second sprint if we can get it to fill. If we can't, we'll go to something else. I'm not sure what yet. Uh, I was hoping to kind of get this to fill, but we don't know. It
Okay.
definitely doesn't look like it will. But you
Hopefully
good?
this is better now. Yeah, I think we're good now.
All right, sweet. Yeah, sometimes these
Yeah, it was weird.
little technical things are an absolute pain. Yeah, so we were talking about like some players that need to go up or down in rankings, and so yeah, today I moved. Uh, I guess I could just bring it up, but
Yeah, I was curious to see yours.
like the players I moved. Well, number one, like I'm still Genty over CMC. Call me crazy. I'm not a believer. I uh, I only have Puka behind Gibbs just because I don't want to full fade Gibbs. Right? Like
Right,
I
all those
want.
guys in the first round. I feel like once you're too far low on them, you have to move them up just so you're not too far low on them,
Almon's the only one I'm comfortable kind of fading. Hey,
especially with
what's
the
up,
injury
no
news.
cap? Do what?
With the injury news, it's a little bit easier to fade him to late in
Well,
the first round into the second.
they've got zero positive news. Like their
Right.
offensive, they've lost their guard in free agency, then their center retired, and then his injury news, and like Jamison Williams is getting a bunch of buzz. Like what good news has Almon had? Like,
Isaac Tesla is not good news, I don't think.
yeah, and like a third round pick as well. Um, I'm lad over this group for the most part. I can't get to AJ Brown at ADP. I just force myself to click him here and there. What's your take on AJ?
AJ Brown, I've actually had up like right with Brock Bowers and A-Chan. I bumped him up there. So I've actually put Lad back down about where AJ Brown is and put AJ Brown up there just because I was worried about if Hurt starts falling back up into the fourth, if you have to get that to get any of the AJ Brown stacks that way. But
Yeah, and well, the fact that you cannot get Jalen
can't do
Hurts
it.
with him,
Can't do it.
because because the Devonta Smith drafter just does the wheel thing, and that's what I do with it, which
And that's
hurts,
what I
right?
do. So that's why it doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, why would we let it happen? Like, why would we? So knowing that it's just, and do you need to stack AJ Brown? Absolutely not. Like, it's not required, but you want to at least feel like there's a chance. And I don't feel like there's a chance at ADP. Like, if you're taking him up around like where I have Ladd or Drake London, right? Um, or at 16. Like, I just don't see him going there very often. And I want to have a stand on Ladd McConkey this year. And I want to be a little overweight on London and Achan and Jonathan Taylor as well. So to do that, I have to fade some people. And Derrick Henry is the number one. And AJ Brown's kind of like the second choice there.
It's a scary fate on King Henry, isn't it?
No, I'm
No,
not
not for
worried.
you. You don't. That worries me a little bit, but I can see. I
Well,
mean, he's getting there.
the reason it doesn't phase me, and by the way, we're down to 6, so it is slowly filling.
It'll get there.
We the reason I'm not incredibly worried about it is because last year was a third round price, right? So yes, he
Yeah,
was awesome.
a little bit
Uh,
different at the 1-2 turn.
but the players you have to give up this year compared to what you had to give up last year, like last year was around Tank Dell, Steph Diggs, Cooper Cup at one point. And yes, I know all these players got hurt or whatever. But like, it's just like in a vacuum, like if last year's ADP, you had to give up uh, the Debo Samuel or the Achan or the Barkley for Derrick Henry, like, would you have done that?
Hey, that'd be tough to do, wouldn't it?
And like yes, he smashed in his new situation, but this
But you
is
missed out.
fantasy. Yeah.
But you missed,
But
so
like,
that's it in a nutshell, right there. When is he going to hit the cliff? That's
yeah.
his thing.
And yeah, he was running back 3 last year, but I just don't know. I mean, he also didn't perform in the playoffs, right? Like,
And that's what matters when it came
and
down to it, right?
absolutely. And with Keaton Mitchell getting more healthy and their offense, like Lamar threw 41 passing touchdowns last year. So their offense probably regresses to some degree.
Or would you think that their passing volume at least increases some and they lean away from Henry some?
Well, I
Or
mean,
Lamar gets the rushing.
he's older. Like, I think it's very possible that, they save him for important moments.
Right. Same thing, kind of like Travis Kelce.
Yeah, like, and I didn't buy that on Travis Kelce last year, and that bit me.
Right. Same kind of thing.
So that's why I'm like, it's not like an incredibly comfortable fade, but like I would
Right.
much,
Looking at who you're giving up and the way you state it that way, it doesn't make it that ridiculous of a fade,
yeah, like, because the players you're giving up to do that are like, if you want to be overweight on Drake London, Ladd McConkey, Achan, Bowers, even JT, uh, all of those players, like, if you like any of those significantly, like, which one of these players, like, you had to pick one to have less of, right? I mean, because there is a cliff at AJ Brown, pretty much, right? Like,
that's where
with
it
the,
feels like the cliff is to me.
I mean, Rashee Rice is going to be with the other group here
Right. And
really
he'll be
soon,
there.
but like right now he's not. And in BBM style contests, it's going to be hard to push Rice up because of the previous teams where people got him in the 4th.
Right. And you're fighting what was that amount of teams that's already been drafted. So his ADP will be kind of static down there, probably at the 2-3 turn, I think, maybe halfway into the second.
Yeah, yeah. That I'm putting him basically at the back end of that tier. And by the way, we're down to 2 more to start for the sprint. Uh, for you, it's 25. So this is a good way to look at it as well. I think you need to ask yourself, what is the score Henry puts up week 17? I regret fading, and for him, it's 25. So it doesn't even, like, that doesn't matter to me. What matters is is he the only one of this group that gets 25 points? Right? Like, because if you're fading him and Achan had 22 points, like,
Right. And I
yes,
think it's especially the running backs there
yeah,
that if there's ones that can do it.
yeah. If Henry and Achan, if Henry's 25 and Achan's 22, that could be the difference. But like, uh, am I comfortable having more Achan throughout the rest of the season? For me, the answer is yes. And I don't have zero Henry, but like, I will. I basically take him every time he's there at like 17
Yeah,
because
once he gets to
he's
midway through the second, I
he's
agree.
never there. So when he is
Right.
there, I just go ahead and click him.
Yeah, at that point you kind of the fade's off.
Right. Yeah, and it basically, and that's like with the CMC fade I had pre-draft. Uh it's the same kind of thing. Like, it's not just a bet on is he going to smash? It's is he going to overly smash all of the other picks in this area?
And I was
Right. Like,
12% McCaffrey pre-draft. I just looked.
yeah,
It's funny, we
and
we're opposite of that.
yeah, I'm not saying that the McCaffrey stuff was a bad take then. Like, I definitely wish I took some at this point. But it's fine. Like, I'm not going to chase him up the board, but the Bengals offense is amazing. Yeah, it really is. I think it's also prudent to ask yourself what your path without a premier running back score. Yeah, and that's true. Um, but like, if you're making the bet, like me, on Achan or Jonathan Taylor over him, like, that's the bet, right?
Right, that is exactly the bet. You're saying Jonathan
Yeah,
Taylor like repeats his last year, or
right.
Achan in the Tampa Bay game goes nuts.
Yeah, and I ever say he was a bad fantasy player?
Not once that I heard.
I never said that it was a bad pick. Like, I'm just saying, I to get the exposures on the players that I want, I have to kind of fade somebody, and that person ends up being Henry and AJ Brown.
I mean,
Like,
if you're overweight on someone,
yes,
inherently you have to be below weight on someone else to get there in
and
that range.
if Derrick Henry was going where Josh Jacobs goes, I would have like 20%. Like, if he went in this area, actually went around Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs, and Chase
Never
Brown,
makes it there though.
I would have a ton. Absolutely. I just think he's like a little too expensive. And by the way, I want to shout out to everybody. Yesterday's video, as soon as it closed, got to 51 likes. And I think it's a 61 now with almost 300 views.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty sweet. And I'm going to try to end today at right at 6 p.m. Central. And I'm going to link over to Big Draft Energy. So Big Draft Energy today has a really good show. If anybody here knows Updog, he has a tool that he's releasing. He's going to be on Big Draft Energy's channel, and I believe Debro is going to be there as well. So it should be a really fun show. It'll be Big Draft Energy, I think Sleaze. It'll be all four of them. So yeah, I know you weren't, but I'm just kind of like trying to like preface this. And by the way, still need two more for a 30-second sprint.
Figured the sprint might take a second. Just a little different format.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to go ahead and post it in the pound again. Usually that gets, and usually whenever it's two, like under three, like it fills pretty quick because people are like, oh, it's actually going to fill, you know? So
Right. Once he gets below half.
other moves I made, I moved Devontae Adams up. I've had him in my mind up here the whole time. I moved Tyreek Hill back up. I had him a little lower. What's your feeling on Marvin Harrison?
I've been pretty much fading. I felt like you end up taking you take Trey McBride and you end up fading him at that area, and you usually get one or the other. And I've been taking way more Trey McBride just because I feel like once you get to the playoff weeks, elite tight end does end up being a big difference maker. Where I don't know, I have a hard time believing that Marv is going to be that guy when you get to the playoff weeks. I think he'll have a better season. I just don't think he's going to be a guy you need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's the guy you need. I just think that the ceiling case for everyone else around him is
That's it
better.
too.
Um, like I'm not a big JSN person, but like I probably like, and the only reason I have JSN after Marv is just to like maybe get a share of Marv. And I've been on record saying this. I believe Marvin Harrison goes where he goes only because of the week 17 correlation with Joe Burrow or with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
I
I
believe
don't
that
think
entirely.
I don't believe there's like any other reason. And the reason I say that is because the entire big board, he was at the back end, like the middle to back end of the third round. The
Do you,
entire big board.
do you feel like he should almost be in the fourth, like first
Yeah,
thing into the fourth? Yeah, that's kind of
yeah.
what I was thinking.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I kind of feel like the elite quarterbacks should be up here,
Right
like,
above him.
and
Right.
most of these wide receivers should be pushed down a little bit. And now
Yeah, I
we're down
think
to
the same
one.
thing. I'm at 4.3% Marv post draft.
Nice. Yeah, just one more on this sprint. Yeah, and if you don't, I have on that same eliminator sheet that I have, like not that I mean, if you have the tool, like the best ball overlay tool, like you should, like you don't need this because it's already in there. But I have this on that same chart with the eliminator weeks right here. So, and that's free. I have a link to my Discord as well. But yeah, so and we were talking about DJ Moore. That's kind of what got this started. Like I had him down a little bit, and like James Cook, I had way down too. And I moved both of them up a little bit. I kind of realizing that like I probably want to move Jameson Williams down even
I think
underneath.
JMO's going to be stuck to both Amon Ra and Justin Jefferson, where he's just going to stay in that same tier with the
Yeah,
week 17 correlation stuff.
I mean
For this,
they're on opposite side of the board, right? So
right. But I'm saying like he won't move past one or the other. Like he'll either get pulled up to Amon Ra to double stack it there, or he won't make it past Jefferson Gibbs on the other side.
yeah, and I try to take them when I don't have those players. Is
Right.
what I'm trying to do,
Yeah,
just
have it
so
as its own thing.
yeah. And like I'm having a hard time chasing DK Metcalf up the board. I I was pretty positive that Aaron Rodgers was going to go there anyway, and I didn't even like his ADP at the 4-5 turn initially. And I could be wrong. DK Metcalf does one thing. He does it pretty well, but he runs straight downfield and he bodies people here and there.
And is Aaron Rodgers, he's always had Devontae Adams, which is more of a route runner and actually gets open kind of guy. So is that going to mesh very well? And
Right.
is with pace of play, Mike Tomlin offense or Mike Tomlin team, Arthur Smith offense, they're probably going to run the ball and control the clock a lot. So he might just not have the volume.
Right. No, that is absolutely true. And so is what Slayton's saying right here. Marvin being next to Tyreek is weird because Tyreek can win any playoff week single handedly or beat you overall 17 weeks through. Yeah, and MHA does not have that upside.
And
And
that's kind of exactly what I was saying, Slayton. I don't feel until I see it from MHJ.
yeah,
That's tough to tell me it's going to happen when I've seen it from Tyreek.
and I'm actually debating on moving Tyreek up. Like, actually, I might just do that now, and then move Brees up here and have McLaurin down a couple spots. I have 11% McLaurin, but that 11% McLaurin is there 100% to try to push around to get Jaden Daniels. Like,
Right.
and we are live, by the way. We just
Right.
entered. We got the 102. Sladen got the 101. Coolers at the 103. I believe this is a member as well. I've seen them in a few of my drafts. Al Boogie at the 108, Hartman at the 109, Green Bean at the 111, and Jack, is this Jack Powell, I think, at the 1.12. And Alex Faded, is that There was an Alex that commented, Alex Allgood, Ali Good, I think that's him. Uh,
A lot of
confirm
friends and
in the
family.
chat. It's hard to keep everybody's usernames. It's all like,
I don't know how
so
you have as many as you do.
yeah. Well, I write them down, and when I write things down, like the way my mind works, I just remember a lot of the time, half the time.
Way better
Um,
chance than not writing it down for me.
yeah. So are you Jefferson, Bijan? Like Bijan has that insane weeks like schedule for the playoffs as well.
Bijan does have a really in this format, especially. I like Bijan. I usually at the two take Jefferson in the normal contest, but I would be between those two here. I'll let you call on that.
All right, it's all good. We can do that. I mean, they have Dallas Giants.
Right. I think I like Bijan a little bit more for this playoff run.
I
I'm
do too. You get at Tampa Bay, at Arizona, and then home versus the Rams. Like,
The only thing I don't like is what the board looks like when it comes back here when you take a running back early.
yeah, we can do some things.
Yeah, we can for sure.
I don't mind pulling people up from the 3-4 turn to get unique in these.
All right, I'm a fan.
Uh, and I'm not saying like this contest specifically, it's awesome to do it in right now. Like when I prefer to do that is near contest closes when I know that what I'm doing is going to be unique.
Right, when
Because
you've
like,
had 90% of the contest filled where a certain player falls on a specific side of the board or something,
yeah,
where when
so
you flip
like
it, it
you
actually
don't do it.
matters.
Yeah, if you do it when it's 20% filled and then, let's say you do it with Xavier Worthy in pre-draft and then he has his little incident and then he starts going to the 4 or 5 turn for like a week. Well, now
Not very
everything
unique.
you did, yeah, you're not unique anymore. So I don't mind the uniqueness stuff. And there are certain players that like T Higgins, like actually in the slow, I just forced the timeout on. I took Nico down here at the 111 and I brought up T Higgins because I know it'll be incredibly unique. And it was in the Schnauzer 2. So like I know that is because the Schnauzer 2 is, 90% full already, right?
Right, so,
And the
and especially with the way people are starting to push Burrow now, you figure you
yeah,
actually might be able to get a stack on that side of the board with them too.
right. Just take him in the sixth, beginning of the sixth. Yep,
Right.
exactly. And I wonder if we're going to start seeing more people do that. Uh, I actually did that a little bit in big board, hoping to push that, and I think I landed it once or twice to bring Burrow up and push him, or
Yeah, I think in the
bring
like you
Higgins
said,
up.
in the time box contest, once they're like 80% full or more, I would think
Yeah,
you would see stuff like that more often.
absolutely. So, tell me the story on how you became a Panthers fan.
Well, I live in the Detroit area, so
I know.
I grew up a Lions fan. I was diehard Lions fan until like I think it was my senior year in high school when Barry Sanders would he fax his retirement to the team. I believe that's what it was. And that was pretty impressionable to me at that time. And I was like, okay, so if he's done with the team, I guess I'm done with the team too. Greatest running back of all time.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do like how you see people that will just jump to another team like in the division or one of their big rivals or something like that. I made a lateral move to an equally bad cat team. And that was pretty much the end of the story right there.
Yeah. Uh, that's funny. You just jump from cat to cat.
And that's all. I didn't want a team in the division. I kind of want to stay in the NFC. And I was like, who's another really bad team that I could just be a fan of and just put this all behind me? And
Yeah.
the Panthers actually had their couple of runs at the Super Bowl. Never really closed the deal, but they've had some exciting moments for as young of a franchise as they are, because I think they became a franchise when I was in 8th grade or freshman in high school, something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah. I became a Chiefs fan when I was very young. Um, and I was like just learning football and like I liked watching Kansas City play and I liked watching the Niners play. And then when Kansas City traded for Joe Montana, I became only a KC fan.
Oh, I remember that.
And I mean, my favorite player to watch, my favorite two players of all time to watch were Christian Okoye, and Derek Thomas. So like,
Derek Thomas was different. It was him and LT. I felt like when that era of outside linebacker was,
oh yeah,
they were and Pat Swilling too. Pat Swilling was really good for a while.
yeah, and like I did not like this man, but it wasn't a linebacker, but a safety. Steve Atwater
Oh, for the Broncos.
he was so
Yeah,
good.
no wonder you didn't like him. I put that together really quick. I get it.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, it was a respectful "I don't like you." Yeah,
Right,
it was
right. For sure. He was a man that he was like he was the safety that patrolled the middle of the field like before Ray Lewis was that dude.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jake was my Del homie in like 2004. That's for sure.
Yeah, so like what you were talking about, like I went through like because as soon as the '90s ended, Kansas City was awful for like 12 years, right? Really bad. And like during that time, like I was always still a Chiefs fan, but I started kind of rooting for other teams here and there. And the Texans were actually one of them because of like so number one, the history of Kansas City. Did you know they were originally the Houston Texans?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So all right. We are on the clock. We could go Bucky to get more of that and then just be done kind of at
Ooh,
running
that's
back.
fun. That's fun. I mean, with what wide receivers are there, I like the double running back start,
I have no problem doing that. And like,
especially in this contest.
yeah.
It's different
And
for sure.
here we could either go with we could go with Tyreek, we could go Garrett Wilson, we could take an elite quarterback. I'm fine with whatever.
I was thinking Tyreek or Garrett Wilson myself. So
Which one?
Tyreek puts us into that game already.
Okay.
I mean,
Yep.
if we're going to be all the way up top, let's do it.
Sounds good. Yeah, if we're gonna go running back, I think Tyreek, like they were talking in chat, like he's done it before, right?
He's done it before. We've seen
Like
it.
there's his arm was hurt and Tua was, not healthy most of the season last year. So maybe, and like I think it was Big Draft Energy. I was watching his stream a couple like last week. And he pointed out that the Dolphins offense is literally like every other year.
The
Like,
Dolphins offense, and I feel
yeah,
like the Cowboys with Dak has been every other year. Those are the two where they're up and down.
yeah, that explains the bitterness on what Nico, or are you talking about this? They lose the Super Bowl. Oh, okay.
Oh,
The first,
that I was one of my first Super Bowl memories was the what was it, Scott Norwood?
yeah, and man, like, so the Bills were another one of those teams, like because Kansas City was one of the top teams every year in the mid '90s. Like whenever I started watching football,
And they
but
just ran into the Bills.
we could not stop Thurman Thomas.
Just
Like,
imagine, like, think about how bad that, like, there's teams like Kansas City then that would always run into the Bills, but
yeah,
then the Bills would always run into someone else in the Super Bowl. That imagine how the Bills felt. That had to be
yeah,
so awful.
yeah. No, no. Well, at least theirs was a different team. And actually, KC, I think, only lost to the Bills twice in those 4 years.
Yeah,
Because
because
we
they didn't
got
have deep playoff runs, did they?
no, like Marty Schottenheimer, I think, did he never? It was one of those. Well, I know. So from 1993 till Mahomes, Kansas City won 0 playoff games
That's wild.
because we were the number 2 team. You know how everybody makes fun of Dallas because they haven't won since that Super Bowl or whatever, right? The
They
playoff
haven't.
game.
Wow, I guess I didn't realize that they actually hadn't even won a playoff game.
Oh, Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like the longest streak is like it's like 20 some years or something. I can't remember the exact number.
well,
But
see, that would be
KC
like
was
94 or something. So,
yeah,
wow, that's crazy.
I think KC was the like they were the year after that or the year before that for a long time. Like we never had the longest streak. I think it was like Browns, then us, then Dallas,
The
and then
Lions
we
had to be up there, didn't they?
maybe it was the Lions.
Because they didn't. Their last one was in like before they beat the Rams in the playoff game. had they won a playoff game since when they 91, I think, might have been the last time they won one. Before that.
Yeah, it might have been that. So it
Wow.
might have been Detroit, KC, then Dallas, and then KC won one first, and then Detroit won one, which puts Dallas, I think, is the number one team right now, like longest streak of.
Which is crazy for the Cowboys to just think that it's been like the majority of the people listening to this lifetime since they won a playoff game. That's
Yeah.
so crazy to think, isn't it?
Well, if it's a lot of people our age, they got to
Right.
witness greatness, and then
Right. Right.
I mean
That's true.
it was greatness. Like they were really good.
Well, same thing like
And,
with the Patriots. Think about it, you've seen it as well as I have. They've gone from bad to good to bad again.
the first Super Bowl, the Rams. Oh, dude, so I live close to the St. Louis area, like close enough that a bunch of the people here are fans, and that made me root for the Titans in that game. You know,
That
and
was so you felt so bad for Steve McNair in that game.
you did, man. Steve McNair was a fun, like, and Eddie George, like that was a fun team.
That was
It
a
was
real
just a
fun
fun
team.
team. So, what are you thinking here? We have Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, Tyreek Hill. Uh, like, did Jaden Daniels fall all the way there?
Sure did all the way back with Terry in the middle.
Wow, that's a
Nice.
fun start.
Right. Very fun
That's a
start with
fun
Brock
start.
Bowers and Gibbs. Yeah. Jealous of that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No. Like, I would love to have that in my portfolio. Like,
Right. That's for sure.
Uh, there
I
are a
mean,
couple players here that I really like. Like, I'm fine with any of the top three. I don't know what you think about the naked Hurts here, but I would be fine with that. I'd be fine with Worthy. I'd be fine. I'd honestly be fine with Cook if he fell too.
okay. So Cook's gone. So I would think we should probably, with how we started at running back, if we could try to double Hurts with Devontae here one way or another. If you think one or another, you know what I'm saying? Like take one,
Yeah.
then get the other first.
Yeah. We'll see. Coolers may do the Devontae Smith thing. He did not.
So we can
Um,
try for it.
I think we just take Devontae if Slayton
Yeah.
wants to take. And then because if we get Devontae and then Cortland Sutton, like, is it that big of a deal?
Nope,
Not
not to
not
me.
really.
Sometimes
So
I'll flip it and take Hurts first just to deter the person on the corner from doing it, but
yeah,
I can
and
make the case for either one.
and yeah,
Usually it comes back.
naked Hurts isn't bad, right?
No, no, not the end of the fourth. It doesn't
And by the
seem terrible
way,
to me.
Philadelphia also has an insane schedule. Las Vegas at Washington and then Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's probably the one I like the least, which it is, obviously week 17, but still, didn't the last time they played, wasn't that a decent scoring game, like in the high 30s or something?
Yeah, I mean,
Even though it's late in the year.
no defense can stop Josh Allen when Josh Allen wants to score. I mean,
That's kind of what it feels like.
and I felt that way about Mahomes until like he needs a quarter, or he needs an offensive line, way more than Josh Allen does.
And I feel like the Eagles, that could be a game too, where you feel like one team gets ahead and then the other team has to push to get back. So good shootout potential.
Lord, you screwed me going Devonta Smith.
Sorry, Sladen.
I mean, I was surprised Coolers didn't do that. Honestly,
I was thinking one or the other was going to.
I figured Coolers would try that, and maybe he didn't because we mentioned it, or maybe he has 40% Jalen Hurts. I don't know.
Yeah, both viable.
Yeah, like the more I think about it, man, Jalen Hurts, especially. I don't know if you do anything on DraftKings, but
I haven't done much on DraftKings yet, but I have money over there, so I want to get into it.
So there's a couple really good contests. Like there's a $9 button hook. It takes a while to fill. It's a 3 max, so you max it for $27. They have a $3 20 max also. Everything is 1 of 12, 1 of 12. But like I'm just playing in those rooms. But like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson both go between 25 and 30, like almost every single
way
draft.
up there.
And Jaden Daniels goes at like sometimes over here at this turn, but Jalen Hurts still goes in the mid 4th. So it's like draft capital wise.
Yeah.
like Jalen Hurts is just a smash. Like over there, even more so.
I've noticed on DK, you'll get some pretty crazy rooms. I've watched you draft over there a few times. I think it was.
Dude, I got one that it was, I think it was CD Lamb, Nico Collins, Bucky Irving or something. Like and then I think I got Devonta Smith and then Jalen Hurts, or maybe something like that. I don't remember. It was ludicrous though.
Every now and then, like I said, you never know room to room. Like if people are doing something for their portfolio, they could reach on something that just falls right for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and for those of you who do draft over on DraftKings, I have noticed I finally figured something out. So, like, it's really hard to go back and look through like your previous, like what you just drafted. Like, it just kind of lumps all of them together. If you go to their website and you click lineups, and you can sort by dollar entry. And if you sort by the dollar entry, it will then put everything in the order it was drafted as well. It won't
That's easy.
separate the tournaments out, but if you just did a draft and you want to link it to somebody, you could actually find it doing that.
At
I
least
found that
Underdog does that for you, right?
right. Yeah. DraftKings UI is it's
I
so
think
bad.
that's the main reason that I've been on Underdog primarily since I started doing this was just because the user interface is just that much better. Yeah, boy, between the two of those, they really
Yeah.
didn't show up when you needed them, did they?
Well, like Emo and I, whenever we were drafting, we brought it up. Jalen Hurts, what, 3 straight years didn't play Week 17?
I had some dynasty teams that Jalen Hurts got me all the way there and then took a
Yeah,
break. And that's about where my teams took a break.
yeah, just like Anthony Richardson.
Same kind of thing.
I mean, at least he didn't just quit mid play. Like,
Yeah.
nah, nah. There was a reason,
That's too
but
much.
yeah,
I'm tired. Let me get a
yeah.
break.
When in doubt, if I'm gonna dog on an Eagles player, I'm gonna throw Nick Sirianni under the bus. Like that's my go-to. I was less upset that Kansas City lost the Super Bowl and more upset that Nick Sirianni got a win.
It's kind of hard to
Like,
dislike many players on the Eagles, but it's pretty
yeah,
easy to dislike Nick Sirianni.
I mean,
That's
absolute
how I feel,
facts.
and yeah,
Yeah,
that's just how I feel.
and everybody's like, I hear it all the time. Like, people just hate on Jalen Hurts. That's a little true, but I think it's everyone hates on Nick Sirianni, and Jalen Hurts is just his guy.
He's catching strays.
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what's Jalen Hurts done to warrant the hate that he gets?
He beat people in fantasy.
Right. That's about.
Yeah,
And he took a break when they needed him. I get it. So sometimes I need a
yeah,
break too.
yeah. I mean,
That's it.
yeah. The answer is pretty obvious. There's a player I would love to get here.
Uh,
Um,
I'm going to let you steer the ship on this turn. I want to see what your thinking is.
I want Ricky Pearsall
Okay.
for sure.
And
Uh,
especially, I saw, what was it? Maybe it was on Badge Bros or something earlier. They were talking about the over unders for yardage for all the guys in that range. And Pearsall
yeah.
was one that was pretty intriguing to me in that range.
Well, with Ayuk most likely starting on the pup, right?
Right.
Um, I I definitely want that. So I love Quinshon Judkins, but we have Tyreek Hill,
Can,
Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, and to
uh,
me, it's Matthew Golden or Stephon Diggs.
I like Golden there. Uh, I'm a fan of both of them, honestly, but I like Golden a little bit more there, I think,
Yeah,
just because with Diggs might get a slower start to the season there.
yeah. No, I love Matthew Golden. Like, whenever after the draft, whenever I done my initial rankings, I had Golden at 68,
Okay, so yeah, you're definitely still
and
getting a good deal
I'm
there.
yeah 20% on him. I don't want to get 30% on anybody, unless it's somebody like Rasheed Rice, who I'm like I'm 99% sure he's just going to go up like
I'm pretty sure
12 picks.
I'm at the point where anytime I see Rice at 23 or lower, I'm just taking him. It's just going to be a snap pick anytime he's
I
there still because it's not going to last.
I was doing that when he was at 30 or when he was at 27.
Okay, yeah, that
Uh,
makes sense. Few
like,
picks in.
dude, I have my very first big board team or my very first BBM team I showed in my Discord. It's uh, BTJ, Amon Ra, uh, then Rasheed Rice with Chase
Oh, that's
Brown.
nice.
I think it was Chase Brown too.
Yeah,
Like,
because you could get him later, not necessarily in the early BBMs, but I know in the
no, it wasn't Chase Brown. I pulled Hampton up because I
oh,
thought
okay, yeah,
Hampton would go up, but then I got Pacheco at the uh, at pick 108.
yeah, he was going way later, wasn't he?
Yeah,
That's
I
a
got
nice stack
Pacheco at
then.
108. So like, and I mean, there was a regret on that team, but there was. I took who was it? It was somebody who I don't know if they're going to have a job here pretty soon in round 17. But overall, I liked
Javante or
it.
something.
Am I two subs? I thought I was one sub. Did somebody unsub? I had 199, I thought, whenever I started. No,
Oh
we are
yeah,
at 201.
there we go.
Look at
You're
that.
on
We
your way
got
to
to,
500. You're cruising.
yeah, we're cruising pretty good. I, I'm pretty excited. And by the way, you said that you're going to start streaming more often.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think I'm gonna start doing them before work if I can, but they'll be early in the morning, so I don't know how the viewing audience will be. This is like pre-Chad candles in the day.
yeah, so like 5:30 a.m.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and that's really the only time I can do it right now, other than right now when everyone else is doing it.
Well, I know a lot of the Who crew actually are night owls and stay up the entire night. Like I know
Oh, okay, well that
Gamblestein
works then.
does,
Sweet.
and some of them. I'm sure that I'm sure he would be up for doing drafts and stuff. Um,
I'll definitely give that consideration. That's
I'm
when I'm naturally up early in the morning like that. That's just how I am. I've been that way my whole life. I'm in bed by like 10 o'clock. Like if I'm watching Fantasy Football Garage, I'm usually fading off to sleep. That tells you about my
nice.
time frame.
Yeah, so let's go through the team real quick. I usually try to
Take a
give
look.
a review at 6 rounds. We got Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irving, and we didn't go with another running back because of that, right? And then Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, still trying to come back a little bit, but man, I feel really good about this start. Like I really like what we have going.
Yeah, I like that. And we don't have to touch running back even again for a little while.
And if one is there or falls, like
Right. We
we
can take
still
it. Right.
can.
Right.
What's your take
That's
on
the
Jalen? Go ahead.
No, that's the one thing I like about when you start running back early because you know you're going to hammer some wide receivers for a minute, that you're not obligated to take a running back. But if one falls, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What's your take on Jalen Warren with Aaron Rodgers versus Caleb Johnson?
There was actually some pretty bullish news on Caleb Johnson. They were showing his over under rushing yardage for, I like Reed there with Golden
I
already.
mean, Coolers will take Reed.
Yeah, I think he probably will, but
Yeah.
in the event
Yeah,
that
he
he won't,
should. Yeah, he should take
right.
it.
I figured he would.
Um, so do we want to go for the late upside here with one of these rookies?
I kind
Uh,
of like that versus the two other receivers that are there.
no way. No. Which one do you like? We already
Uh,
have a Tampa Bay thing going a little bit.
Yeah, especially I like Tampa Bay just because of
Yep. All right.
the bring
Yeah, we
back.
will. This is going pretty smooth. Like we're agreeing on all the picks. So for the second pick, what are you thinking? I
Hmm.
mean, I love Cam Scadaboo. Um,
I like
and
Scadaboo, and that's right at about. I like taking him once he gets to 100. So 98 isn't egregious there at all.
we could do that. We could take Mark Andrews if you would like. Cup if you want. Like I'm fine
Man,
with whatever.
Cooper Cup is just such a tough click for me if he's not
Yeah.
if you're not correlating something. Let's take. I like Scadabo there. We could take that for our third running back.
You heard it
Gives us
here
good
first. He
balance.
talked me into it. It was all him. It was all him.
100% me.
Yeah, it was
At,
all
at,
him.
at least the Shelps would be happy.
Yeah, I'm at 24%, I think.
Oh, I'm
So
probably something decent like that too. Let's see.
yeah, I just glance over Pittman every time. I can't get there.
22% Scatabo. So we're in lockstep.
All right. So no wonder that it went well. Like
Yeah,
we
that wasn't like if that was even a consideration.
yeah.
There wasn't much on my end that was giving me
The the one thing that
hesitation.
does suck is Jaden Reed went right here, which means that Jordan Love probably goes right here, right?
Yeah,
Because he doesn't have any quarterbacks. He didn't get the Burrow coming back. He didn't
right.
get Kyler coming back. So he's almost definitely going to take Jordan Love there.
That's why I
Uh,
figured Reed wasn't getting
yeah,
by him.
yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna hate doing it, but like Tucker Craft's one of my favorite clicks over here as well.
Oh, I've done the Tucker Craft and Jordan Love
Yeah,
the same way I do Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts, but 3 rounds ahead, the exact same thing on a corner so many
there,
times.
and I'll talk openly about it. There's a like so Jonnu Smith, man. Like I was, I'm still happy. Like if I still had to take him where we took Scatabo there, I would still be doing it. Like I just think that he fell because of a trade rumor that like was proven to be basically false, like instantly. And he
And
just
how long have we wanted somebody to be a good pass catching tight end in the Miami offense for?
yeah. And we already have that bet going. And actually, weirdly, we're building a week 17.
I
We
do
weren't
that
intending
inherently
that.
so much. Yeah.
Like we weren't intending to, but it's just happening.
Yeah, and it kind of fell right in line with that.
Chad Candles loves the Scatabo pick.
I
Or
figured Chad'd be
Scataboo.
a fan of that.
Yeah, I like
It's
this.
so weird that him and Tracy have been like side by side the whole time, and we still don't really know who's going to be the bigger part of that backfield.
We get Bo Nix at 108 with the Ingram on the turn to the drafter that has Harvey. I like that.
Yeah,
That
that is
that
nice.
feels really good. Jack there. Yeah, but it feels so good to have these elite quarterbacks. And I was talking myself out of it here and there, like just because I wanted the wide receivers up there. But the more I think about it, like I tend to like the teams a lot more whenever I don't take like so of the wide receivers that go in that area, like DJ Moore, Xavier Worthy, Tet McMillan, Mike Evans, like taking two of those every time feels wrong, especially whenever you could go one on one and like just have like an even exposure on the quarterbacks and those guys, kind of.
Right. And you just feel like even with all the quarterbacks that go along with those players, you feel like one of the elite quarterbacks just has a better ceiling outcome for week
Yes,
17 when you need it.
absolutely. All right, so we are one pick away. Weird. Jordan Love went. Who would have thought?
Weird that he went there.
Do you like one of those two guys, or do you want one of these? Which
What are
one?
we at wide receivers wise? We got 3 still. No,
We
okay. Yeah, I forgot we got Ibuka too. I was thinking that.
yeah.
Yeah, we could probably take Janu there.
I'm fine with either any of these because I'm fine with either Johnny or Warren or
Right,
Bateman.
right.
Cool.
Either way, I'm not hating it.
All
So
right, we'll go. We'll take
that's
Johnny.
fine.
Like I think that there's a tier break at both of those, and like if he takes both of those players,
Okay.
like I'm fine just going Warren as well.
And
Like
being
just
done, right? Or
okay.
done until later. So
So
I
what are
do
you
like
thinking?
Bateman. But Keon Coleman has the correlation with week 17.
Yeah, but Bateman gets to play Cincinnati,
Yeah, and I feel like Bateman's got a
and
better throughout the range of the season scoring outcome.
I do as well. And he plays Baltimore or Baltimore Green Bay,
Oh,
so
yep, yep,
it's a mini correlation there as
yep.
well.
Yeah, I feel like Keon Coleman might have bigger spike weeks than Bateman, but Bateman's probably going to be more consistent and just more of a advance rate player than Keon Coleman will.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
to get you into the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, so we will go through the team again. We got a 1-3-6-1 right now. Jalen Hurts, solo quarterback. Running backs: Bijan, Bucky, Scadaboo. Wide receivers: Tyreek, Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, Emeka Egbuka, Rashad Bateman. Tight end: Jonnu Smith. On the way back around, I feel like we definitely need a running back, and most likely also it would be nice to get a quarterback if there's anything available there.
I agree with that. I was thinking like Buka's probably a pretty good pick for this contest.
Oh no, like I don't love him in like BBM for some reason. Like I guess like
Not near
Burton.
as
I
much.
don't love Burton in BBM. He scares
Right.
me a little. He scares me in this too. Egbuka though, I feel like this is his contest.
But it feels like really his ways that he could win are a lot. Like with both the wide receivers ahead of him being older in age, and you don't really. He's also a first round pick, so he could just straight up be the guy that's on the field all the time. That's
Yeah,
equaling them in target share and or production.
I'm gonna shout out to chat here real quick. Yeah, I was driving peacefully, but knew you couldn't resist to snipe me again, Hartman. How dare you, Hartman? Like Hartman, I don't think Hartman plays to win. He plays to upset people.
He plays to not let other people win.
Yeah, yeah. He is enforcing. He is enforcing rooms. uh, a great discussion. Any thoughts on the new underdog contest? Yeah, I went over them yesterday, and at least for me, the one of six, one of five structures are by far my favorite. I will max every contest they put out with that kind of structure
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
definitely want to max all those little ones because it's only like a couple $100 to max them out. The one's a $7
It's
entry, 20
it's
max, and one's
it's three
20,
hundred
10
and forty
max.
dollars for both.
Yeah, so it's not terrible. And time box contests, you can
Yeah,
kind of do what you want, and like you were saying, as it gets full, if you want to do some things where you're flipping the board
and
and make yourself
right.
unique, gives you a
I've
chance to do that in these tournaments
I've
too.
already done that in one of them. Uh, yeah. So and the corgi is weird, but it's a single entry, so I just entered it anyway.
Yeah, those
Uh,
single entries, it's like I just kind of see what
it,
happens in those,
I
especially when they're a smaller
I
price
don't
range.
I don't love the whole you don't make money until the finals thing.
Right. But if you
Uh,
get there, was it like 250 if you make just the finals, I think?
yeah, it is a gigantic thing if you get there. All right, so Tua is gone,
Tua is gone.
and we don't really have stacking options here.
The only thing maybe would be late Giants with Scatabo was the only other thing I was looking at. I mean, you do have Jalen Hurts stacked too, so you're not really sweating
Right.
quarterback immediately. We also have you. I like where you're at. You don't have to tell me twice on Bryce Young,
Yeah.
especially with the options you have after him.
Right. Yeah, and we're gonna add another wide receiver. If worst case scenario, we could just snap on Jalen Coker around
Doesn't
like around 16 if we have to. I'm fine with. Like we probably won't have to, but this next pick has to be a running back.
right.
So which one do you like of all these guys?
In that range, probably Ray Davis or Grendo, I would think, because
All
we
right,
also, yeah, I would think between those two, just because of the offenses that they are.
sounds
We,
good.
we, we don't really know between Trey Benson. We're obviously just waiting on
Yeah, I
James
mean
Conner to.
Trey Benson is a pick that like he might just absolutely smash.
He very well could,
Um, yeah,
but we also
but
feel like every running back behind James Conner every year could smash, and they don't.
hey, you don't talk about things that are about to come, fantasy dog.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Anybody who's watched me draft knows that I love Adam Thielen at price. Like the fact that he goes at 142 or 143 on both DK and DraftKings, and he goes at 164 or whatever on Underdog. Like, yes, I know Underdog usually dislikes the old guys a little more, but
It seems too cheap.
it something's wrong. Either both of the other sites or this or Underdog is, and they could both be wrong in the like in opposite directions, and it could be in the median too, right? But like the fact is that on Underdog, most likely his price is incorrect.
It
And
seems way too low compared to the other. If he's healthy,
it, I will say it's half point versus full PPR, but like Thielen's not getting 100 receptions, right? Like
no,
he gets
not
what
now with
like
Tet there.
well, even last year he got what like uh it was like 80 some.
Right.
Oh no, he only had
Yeah.
48.
Well, it wasn't he was
Oh yeah, he
near
was.
the
Ah,
beginning of the year.
that's right.
He started. Did he start on IR? It was something like that at the beginning of the year. I forget what it was.
I got 50% plus Thielen. You spelt his name correctly.
Yeah, good job on the spelling there,
Yeah.
fantasy dog.
Yeah, and it is a comfort click, but like I kind of like when Xavier Legette's available just to like change my portfolio up a little bit.
And he's still, I mean, with them the draft capital they invested in him, he's going to be on the field. He's going to get his looks. He
Oh, I didn't see Thielen went.
Yeah, he went right after
Yeah.
they took him on the corner right
I
after we
mean,
did.
that's fine. We have options. And
Yeah,
Bryce Young has rushing upside that people don't really talk about. He had 6 rushing touchdowns over the last 6 weeks, I believe.
which is pretty crazy. You really don't think about it. When I picture Bryce Young, especially early in his career, you think about the pocket collapsing around him and him being able to go nowhere. But
Yeah.
last year, towards the end of the season, once they actually got the offensive line in a decent place and Bryce felt comfortable with the offense, he'd take off sometimes. I was like, wow, this is actually what we were expecting the whole time. It's good to see.
Well, my other browsers froze up, so I can't bring up the Bryce Young rushing thing. I believe it was 6 over 6.
That sounds right.
So we don't have any reason for any of that. Um, do you think we need another running back?
How many running backs we got?
Just 4,
Okay, we
but
took
we
the
have
two
Bijan Bucky.
early. Right. Yeah, I think Rico's probably a good click in that range, and then you could just be done there probably if he makes it. Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, I think we.
Or would you still go 6? I was just thinking because you took the 2 early.
I don't know. I like Rico there for sure, and I'm
I was
fine
just
stopping
thinking
at 5. But like, who
right,
knows what happens? So, right? Like,
right, right. And with this being the sprint tournament, I think maybe 6 just to cover it's probably a good idea. I
um,
feel like we're all right wide receiver wise. So yeah, we're fine with that. If there's another
yes,
one we like coming back here, Jalen Wright, but it's
yeah.
also an
So
interesting one, isn't it?
what? Jalen Wright
Yeah.
with
If
our
you were going to
vet?
take a running back there, or were you going to wait?
I was
I guess.
thinking. I was thinking tight end, but I'm not
Okay.
opposed to doing that.
No, I was just trying to see where your head was at there.
Yeah. Which guy would you like? Ertz, Otten?
I
Well,
think of the
probably not Otten.
no, probably not. And I would go Ertz for sure there if I'm going tight end.
Okay. Yeah, just because we already have 2 pieces of that Tampa Bay offense,
Right.
um, and I'm not positive what the actual strategy is in this, but like I think like not super deep stacks may be better, just in my mind.
That
Maybe I'm wrong.
and doesn't Washington also have a playoff week with Philly? Was the other thought there? Because
Yep,
if we're making the
yep.
bet on Philly, then it's another week where you can score points.
Oh yeah, Hunter Renfro is out there cooking, isn't he?
I did see
Shakir.
Hunter Renfro going to draft earlier. Maybe it was Davis Maddox or something in the tail end of the 17th.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see me draft Hunter Renfro in
It's a
any
tough click,
contest.
but the Panthers tight end room has been a big question mark for the last few years where you really don't know. And Hunter Renfro
Oh,
could just walk in and take that job.
wait, Hunter Renfro is a tight end now.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of who was I thinking of?
Tommy Tremble.
No. There's a different tight end. There's a different tight end the Panthers signed. Who was I thinking of? Let me think here. It was after Tommy Tremble.
Mike Mitchell Evans,
No.
James Mitchell, Jordan Matthews, probably. Why
Maybe
do
I
they
wasn't.
have?
Maybe I was
Why do
thinking
they
something
have
else.
6 tight ends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their tight end room's been wild. Mitchell Evans was one of. There was somebody else. Maybe they cut someone.
They
I
have
thought they had.
7.
It's been
7 tight
nuts.
ends.
There was somebody else they had there for a minute that I was looking at. I was thinking about drafting here, but they must have cut whoever it was. I forgot who it was. Maybe I was thinking Harrison Bryant.
Yeah. I did not realize there were 7 tight ends on that
There's
roster.
so many of them. No, Harrison Bryant's in Phil. I wonder who it was now that I was thinking of.
Are they doing their Indianapolis Colts impersonation or what? Like,
well, hopefully one of them's good.
The Colts couldn't get one.
I'm really curious who that tight end was now.
All that jumbo package offense. Yeah.
17 personnel.
17 personnel. Yeah. Some people call it goal line.
But I mean, if you're going to run the ball, which is what I think Canales is going to do, then they're probably going to have some tight ends on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my worry with the Bills wide receivers is that right there.
Yeah, of them just ping ponging. Yeah,
right, and all having floor and no ceiling.
Man, like there are teams where Shakir feels fine, and so a lot of the things I've been saying for a while are kind of coming true with like how the draft is going. Because I always said that Zay Flowers needed to be in the middle of the 5th, right? Like I've been saying that since Big Board. I've been saying that Khalil Shakir needs to go at like the 8-9 turn, not at the 6 or 7-8 turn, right? And like all of these moves are kind of move. And yes, there's been some parts like I'm assuming that the Elijah Moore stuff is like causing Shakir to fall for no reason.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I mean, I know what I want here. I think we just do that.
Yeah, if it's now available. That we have Bryce Young, we're kind of we got to get a
and like if somebody wants to take them, it's perfectly fine. I have another player I love in this area. So, and are you fine with just these 2 quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, once you have Hurts, especially when he's stacked, I'm never really worried about having a third one. Even in this contest, I feel like you've made a good bet already.
And if this comes back to us, I think that's what we do, right?
Just yeah, definitely. Because who was our other tight end?
It's Ertz and Johnny.
And Zach Ertz. Yeah, so they're both late. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
definitely. So, and the bet on the offense that we have to make, we have what? Rico and then Coker and Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah, we have a piece from every level. This team is pretty solid. We can afford to we have a luxury pick at either one of these. Honestly, like if A Rich is there in the very last pick, are you okay just smashing him?
Definitely be cool with him. Be cool with Milrow probably if he makes it back there. Just
and like, I think optimally, like a running back or wide receiver is probably the click. I think we ended up using enough capital at wide receiver to be fine.
Yep.
I think we have Bucky and Bijan. I think if we were to take a player, it would be a running back.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll just kind of queue up people I like here. I have a hard time with Corum. I could be talked into a Corum share.
Corum's tough with Jarquez Hunter.
I've got 20% Jarquez. So
like you are that is the toughest click, especially after last year. And they blatantly got another running back that does a different thing. So
right.
That's why it feels like that's the Corum's tough.
Absolutely. And the fact that they said exactly what they said about how they wanted to add explosives to their offense and I went looking for that quote in the Coach Speak Index the other day. I couldn't find it, but I know for a fact that I read it at one point in that Discord. But maybe
they're keeping the info under wraps, trying to keep his ADP suppressed.
I don't know. Like he's pretty open about things.
No, he's really good about it. That he's an awesome follow.
Yeah. Have you watched any of the Bestball karaoke stuff?
Yeah. Some of
I
it's
can't
really
do
good.
it. It's not for me.
So
But
some of it's really good. Some of it is tough to watch. But when it's good, it's really good. That's how
well,
I feel. And yeah,
I mean, vocally he's fine. I just
vocally, he's way.
it's
But
not.
I'd never do it. I'd never do it.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
it's just not something that is for me. you
Yeah,
know.
I'm sure there's definitely the audience that is absolutely perfect for it.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but
But
I can
like
totally see if it not being your thing. It's super
all,
nichey.
all of the stuff that he does with guests though is fantastic.
His guests are awesome.
Yeah. All right. So Galaxy Brain, Keon Coleman scores more touchdown than New. That would be fantastic for this team. No, we did not. We took Bateman. There was Buffalo O line with the last name Wimper. Are you kidding? Worse than Tommy Trimble. Uh, are we
Johnson
in on
Ford.
Thornton? No, I
I've
am not in on Thornton.
I maybe would tack him on like at like 2-3% or something at the bottom. Probably less than that. Maybe just throw him on to like a correlated bet, but I'm not going on my way to click him at
Like
all.
I have drafted him in the puppy one and the
Right.
schnauzer one in time box on slows. I took a share or two of him because of the low owned probability stuff.
And that's
Will
about
I
the only
take
time I think I'd do it is in the
I will
tail end of a
not
10
take
box.
him in any contest from now going forward, probably.
Right.
Uh,
Unless there's way more good camp buzz about him.
yeah.
It's probably only like one share in a time box or something.
Well, we should expect him to look good in shorts.
I mean, most people do.
Well, fast people do, and he's fast, you know.
But people that are putting video of themselves out there in shorts tend to look good in shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, and like he Jack Best wins with size at the catch point and like body positioning and all of the grimy stuff. Like,
The fundamental stuff.
yeah, like he learned. Like, is he gonna be fast? No, but he creates separation in ways like in unique ways. And like if you put it around him, he's just gonna pull it down. Looks like we have the opportunity to take him if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
think
hate
this,
piling.
yeah,
I
I think
like
this is
that.
the perfect kind of team for it.
Yeah, it's just the last
It's
round. Hey, maybe at the end of the year. I mean,
I
when have we
think it's
seen
a lot
Daniel
more
Jones?
right. I think it's a lot more likely that A Rich is the guy starting at the end of the season. Um, and like
Especially that
we don't need the third quarterback here.
no,
So if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter, right?
if it's a zero where we took him, so are so many other bets down there.
And if San Francisco is going to have supposedly the worst defense in the league, according to Mike Clay, uh, if he gets that game,
It has a 3 touchdown week.
yeah,
We're in business.
yeah. So we will go through the team real quick. We got a 3-5-7-3. We got Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, running backs, Bijan, Bucky Irving, Cam Scadaboo, Ray Davis, Rico Dowdle. That I love this. Like we got two absolute studs, another possible starter, and then two contingent guys that should actually have roles. Like
Yeah, I like that running back room.
I really like this. And we even got to your Panthers. Look at that.
Snuck some Panthers in there.
Yeah,
What we get 4 of them?
3. Oh yeah, 4 if you count Bryce. Yeah. So we
Yep.
got 4. Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Ricky Pearsall, Matthew Golden, Egbuka, Rashad Bateman, and Jalen Coker. Tight end, Jonnu Smith, Zach Ertz, and Jatavian Sanders.
If the
I think it's
Panthers are if they're underpriced, then that's probably a good bet.
yeah, yeah. And we got into some fun playoff week stuff here
Right.
with these two, with the first 2 picks. I'm definitely doing another draft. You are welcome to stay.
Yeah, I'll stick around for another one. I don't have anything going
It
on.
will not be a sprint. Probably. Oh no. What do you want to draft? We'll let you make the choice.
I'm cool with whatever I'm totally open to whatever. I have all my time back box stuff open. I'll be doing those in the next couple days. I'm cool. It's your stage, man. Do your thing.
No, I was going to let.
Whatever
It's
you
gonna.
think will fill. How's that?
I mean, there's most things are going to fill that I'm going to recommend.
Well,
a
whatever you want to do, I'm cool with. If you want to do super flex, because I'm not good at those, and you want to steer the ship on that, I'm cool with that. If you want to
I
do
mean, we
something
could do
else,
super flex. We could do a poodle. I'm good with either one of those. And
yeah, let's do a
maybe
poodle.
chat.
Maybe people want to. Well, actually, if you want to let the chat decide, that's cool too.
Yeah. Uh, poodle versus super flex. Everybody, put it in the chat. You got 20 seconds. And
Show some love to
I'm
the
gonna
chat
I'm
today.
gonna
Let
guess
them decide.
poodle. The poodle a big dog? I don't think it is. 6'5", 215, 4.38. Why on God's green earth would you want that? Would you want that in the?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why would you want a freak of nature that does basically
yeah.
whatever he
Why would you
wants?
want that? Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with an eliminator as well. If people want to do an
Oh, we
eliminator
could do
again,
that. Yeah, that'd be fun too.
I love the eliminator contest, and I'm at 42 of them, I think.
It's a good coin flip thing, you
Yeah.
know.
And I think that the eliminator is a really fun contest to have a team with somebody, to
Oh
have
yeah,
it
for sure.
so to have like like so it's poodle and eliminator are the only two options. Um, go ahead and decide which one you want. It does not matter to me.
And I think the eliminator is the best thing for like Twitter screenshots and stuff like that when you're facing somebody.
It sounds like the XFL is calling. Dante less than catches per game. Thornton.
Yeah, probably.
All right. While we're waiting for anybody else to answer eliminator or pool, we will go through the poll. Better running back value at ADP. We got 27 votes. The choices were Najee Harris, Ramondre, and ETN. Shockingly, Ramondre wins at 44%, Najee at 41%, and ETN was at 15%. I honestly expected ETN to win this poll. I go Ramondre of those three as well. So,
That's
all
interesting.
right. We got two more for eliminator. And whatever contest Hartman doesn't want to do, got it. Got it. But the eliminator got two more votes, and we are entering the 30-second eliminator right now. 8 more to start. Chad Candles voted Poodle, but it was 2 to 3. We're down to 7. 7 more for eliminator. I will type it in chat in case we have somebody who has me on silent.
Chad's got a really good time slot.
Yeah,
In the
yeah, he
morning.
does. Oh, darn, because who switched it last second to who Poodle? So, and these take a little bit to fill. And I mean, we could, if it's going to take a minute, we could back out and go to the 20-second as well. I think you and I could probably fire it
Yeah,
fire it
whatever you
up
want to do.
pretty good. We're actually, I don't know, we're down to 5. Down to 5. So also, those of you watching over on X, we got 49 live viewers on X right now. Do me a favor, come over here to the YouTube side, smash the sub. You don't have to do it right now. Do it later. It'll be fine. I got the descriptions in the video below. I've got Anthony, Best Ball on Calls, all of his information underneath as well. Like he said, he's probably going to start streaming early in the mornings.
Yeah, I'll be doing it in the morning.
But we need to get him to 100 subs. He had 93 this morning before he jumped on here. Let's
I
try
was
to get
wondering what I
him.
was at. Good looking.
Yeah, let's get him to 100 by the end of the week. I think we can do it. So, and if you so we're still waiting on 5. I'm going to go ahead and back out and go to the 20-second clock right now. And well, that may not be great because it's an 11 to start. Maybe we do have to do a poodle.
You're caught right in the middle of everything.
Yeah. So we're gonna back out go back to the 30-second
At
lobby
least
for
this time of day, you have a chance if something's at 11. If you do that at
yeah,
5 in the morning, you can sit
yeah.
there for a half
Yeah,
hour.
we'll stay in the 30-second lobby. I went to check the other one. I will stay here for a second. I will post in Pound Discord as well. Oh, Aaron Sandy already did it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Let's go back to where we started the stream, looking at my bad rankings. Uh, so player, we got down to this area. George Kittle's one I kind of want to move up to. Like I know I want to take him over some of these players. Like I got 14%. I'm just gonna try to stay at like 13% or more on George Kittle. Is kind of my like I'm keeping him where he's in a screenshot, so I can see
Yeah,
the exposure.
you definitely feel like you don't want to let Kittle. You always want to be able to see him at the tail end of the fourth round, just because of what's coming up.
Yes.
And if you have to pull him up there based on who has drafted on the left side of the board early.
Right. And if you can afford a tight end or not, right?
Right, right.
Like if you went 3 running backs and a wide receiver, or 3 running backs, you probably don't want Kittle. But
Nope, not yet. It's
yeah,
not for you.
yeah. Um, but Travis Hunter, what are you doing with Travis Hunter right now?
I wish I could tell you what I was doing with Travis Hunter right
Yeah.
now. I would love, and he's been sliding some. I'll basically have him right around Ridley and Waddle. I think I'd Flowers up a little bit higher, but right in that range in there. I'll let him fall down into the fifth if he makes it there, but he usually just barely does, if anything. So basically, I think you have to take him. What's his ADP right now? 48.4. Yeah.
It's
So
48, but I'm seeing him get drafted in the middle of the fifth
and that's where I've
repeatedly.
seen him as the middle of the fifth. I wanted to put him at like 54 and see if he made it there,
Yeah,
or if I had
I
had to move him up to get him.
I don't even know that I want to keep clicking him at ADP,
That's the
um,
other thing.
because, like, to be fair, like it is a more difficult conversation when you're debating on Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, and Flowers and Pickens. I'm also not huge on Pickens. I'm not
But
actually as big on the Dallas as everybody else.
but the other wide receivers you named in that range are all their team's wide receiver ones, and you're taking a wide receiver two that's also a part-time corner in that range. That's what makes it tough.
Hartman with a legendary comment here. Travis Hunter is a 5th round pick, but Will Johnson goes undrafted. That's pretty good. Uh yeah, I'm having a harder time. Like I had 17% of them in the big board, but like that was round 8, 9, right? Like that's a much different bet. Like what
And
you're
does he
giving up.
just get? Is he going to stay over there just to tie him to that side of the board, to where we're stacking Trevor Lawrence with either one of them on both sides of the board? Or are they just going
No.
to,
So
pull each other?
something I was doing early, and what I think is going to happen, I think he's going to anchor to the left side of the board, and he's going to be the piece that gets anchored with Jonathan Taylor for the
Jonathan
week
Taylor,
17.
right? I see that. That makes
And so
sense.
like that's actually what I done in one of my it was either my bulldog or one of my poodles yesterday. I brought Jonathan Taylor up with BTJ at the turn. I don't see many people doing that. I think people feel like there's a tier break, like after Drake London, McConkey, like I think they think that like Jonathan Taylor and Bowers are like 17, 18 almost, right? And it's not a flat tier all the way up to London.
Right. It
And,
doesn't
and
feel flat.
so like being like having the ability to pull that up like gets you completely unique. And projection wise, you're probably not really sacrificing that much, and you're giving yourself a unique team.
Yeah. And you have to, you know that you're playing that for the correlation there.
Yeah,
I agree with Slayton's comment, like saying that, just thinking that, like
yeah,
it sounds pretty crazy saying it out loud.
yeah. As I was talking, like you know how you have thoughts and you start talking about it, and you're very unsure of what you were just talking about. You like You just like back away slowly. Like that's kind of what just happened there.
It
Uh,
does sound crazy, but
it also depends on what state your team's in.
right,
If I went three running backs early and like Lamar falls back to me and I'm in the fifth round in the middle of the fifth and I'm choosing between Travis Hunter, Calvin Ridley, I'm going to take the guy I know is playing offense.
right.
Like if he's my
That's the
wide
biggest
receiver one,
concern.
like in that
And
situation specifically,
if he is that good that he's playing both sides of the ball like that, I don't think we're worried about the production he's going to give you when he's playing wide receiver. I just wonder that there's less volume of it to go around to actually get you that production.
yeah,
That's the only worry. Not the guy and his talent at all. Just that that they're going to be using him more on the other side of the ball too.
yeah, and saying out things is so important. And
Oh,
right, like
extremely. I agree.
I one thing that's definitely helped me is I've had some takes that as I'm talking about it, like I talk myself out of. Like
Oh, for sure.
I am not above it. Like I'm just one guy looking through stuff, trying to figure out what I like.
And I've been
This
wrong a
is
lot of times.
Yeah, this is a 30-second eliminator, and we are two away. Two more. Come on, we got 70 watching, so we can get two more in a 30-second eliminator. And then moving down, what's your take on? I just saved this where I moved him down. Like, why? I just did this. I must not have saved it. Uh, but Roma Dunze, Godwin, Jordan Addison, and Jawan Jennings.
Or do you have any fear of Jordan Addison with the suspension at all, or does that not play enough into it where you move him at all?
I think it's kind of like the Travis Hunter thing, where if you have a team that you need a like if you need a wide receiver one or two, right? Like if he's your third or fourth receiver, I think it's fine. If he's your second receiver, I don't love it.
Feels thin if he's your second.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. Maybe that's just the wrong thinking because maximum case, like he's going to miss what 3 games?
Yeah, I would think 3, 4 tops.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like Hunter went for just his wide receiver skills. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're planning on using this guy as a playmaker, right? So
right. Hey, welcome to the crew, Greg. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Thanks for the comment.
yeah, thanks for stopping in, Greg.
What if he's simply not good as yeah, and they've even mentioned that about how they wanted to get him in the first camp, the rookie mini camp. They wanted him to only play wide receiver, which is why he steamed up so much. But then after that camp, they said the reason why is because he was a corner first in Colorado. So they wanted him to experience the wide receiver stuff at the full scale.
And maybe they figured he just wasn't as polished yet, and they wanted him to, have more experience on that.
Yeah, exactly. These last two spots are rough. I was
Uh,
hope.
I have a question. Mark Cox's comment. I thought pick sixes do count on underdog. I thought they were talking about that earlier on. I believe it was Badge Bros or something.
Yeah, so I don't know for sure. I've heard yes, I've heard no. I don't have
Because
an
it
actual answer.
because it's a random touchdown, but he's a position player as a wide receiver, so that
But
still count.
he's not a position player at the time of the
Oh, that's true.
occurrence. So
That's
like
interesting. Yeah.
because if it's a pick six, he is a DB when that play is happening.
Right.
Does that count?
I
That's the
don't you feel
argument.
like they need to clarify this before the start of the season?
They need to clarify it since
Now?
it's a question now because the
Right.
drafting is happening now.
Okay,
Uh,
underdog scoring doesn't count pick sixes. Okay.
yeah. Well, it doesn't count that, but it counts fumble recoveries for
Right.
touchdowns. Uh, so if he gets a defensive fumble recovery, does that count? down to one. Yeah, because like whenever I was looking at it, it says receiving touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and the reason fumble recoveries count is because as soon as they pick up the ball, it's considered a rush.
So it's only on the offensive side of the ball then.
Yeah, and I believe that when they pick it up on defense, it's considered a return. So does that count? Like
Right. Another loophole.
yeah. Yeah, well, I apparently somebody was saying something about like if you go into we'll look at all rules. Hey, well, we are live. We got the 107. So type in scoring. Doesn't seem to say anything here on it.
What tab do you have pulled up on yours? Oh, okay, there you go.
There we go. Then I will actually go to the tournament here.
I was seeing if there was anything I saw in there that was different.
Yeah, it doesn't show. It opened up a new tab. I didn't realize it done that. I thought it went to this one. But that right there doesn't say anything about it. We'll look into this here in a minute. The draft is started. Chad Candle's got the 101. Cooler's got the 102. Jack got the 104. Aaron Sandy, the 105. Charles, the 106. We got the 107. Al Boogie at the 10.10, I guess. Just,
10.10.
the 10.10.
The 01.10.
Yeah, he's over there speaking binary. Like, what are you doing, Al Boogie?
Talking in code.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a yeah, so how far up do you push running backs in this? And how many of these have you done?
Which one? This is
This is an eliminator.
okay. So the running backs you do want to go up some because week one scoring obviously is going to matter.
So this stream started with me talking about how I don't like Derrick Henry.
But
Right?
what are you
Like
gonna
I fade him. I have 16% Derrick Henry in this contest.
right? And with where you're at now, well, I mean, being pick 7, I feel like okay, if McCaffrey goes there, are you wanting to take Ashton Genty? That's what I was thinking.
I'm fine with Genty or Jefferson. Like at this point, I'm fine with Jefferson.
I mean, it's a little bit of a fall. I'm cool with whatever you're comfortable with. I'm cool to do here. Whatever you think's better. You're more familiar with these.
Let me look real quick.
If you have an exposure, I mean, you're pretty close on both of them. Whatever you feel like there.
We're gonna go
fun.
Jefferson.
All right.
I didn't bring it up because I didn't really have time to click extra. So Raiders actually have a good start, I believe, like an okay start. Minnesota is at Chicago, but then Atlanta, Cincinnati. Like, so you get a Cincinnati game in there. And then
anytime Cincy's part of the schedule, if you know how their defense is or how we think their defense is going to be,
yeah,
probably something you want to exploit.
And to be honest, like Vegas is similar. It's at New England and then LAC, Washington, Chicago. So you get Chicago in both. They have a harder defensive game early, but in the round 4, he has the worst defensive, like 2 pretty bad ones, and then a bye week.
That's rough.
So it is a little rough, but I don't think it's like unsolvable. Like if you get to week 5, like you don't feel bad about your team.
Right.
Like
just get there.
You have what, like a 12% chance to get to week 5? 12.5, if my quick math is right, because it'd be 50 week 2, then 25. No, it'd be 6%.
6%, right?
Yeah, 6.6.
Boy, there's another talking out loud thing where when you hear that, 6% chance to get to week 5.
The second they put this tournament out, I talked about that. I am absolutely okay with any of these guys.
Yep, any of the running backs there. I think I like JT probably the most there.
All right.
JT
So
or
Indy plays Miami, then Denver, then them,
yeah, let's
and
see here.
Tampa Bay plays Atlanta and then Houston. So I think I'm fine with JT.
Yeah, that's cool. I like your chart. That's a good reference to have while you're doing this.
Yeah, and it's this chart. That's the chart I was referencing earlier. It's free in the Who Crew Discord. That link is in the description as well, and it's under I think the Tools tab. It's the only thing in there. I'm the only one allowed to post in that in that one. So
Seems fair for your Discord.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Sort of glad I'm not in there. Oh, and I forgot to bring that up. Every time I hear the sentence, I'm fading Derrick Henry, I got to check and see if I'm still on planet Earth or not. it, hey, not all fades are like he said. It's probably not comfortable. It's not like it's like I feel awesome about it, but it's not an uncomfortable thing.
Well, but
Uh,
things you feel awesome about aren't necessarily great. Like I was at like I think 18% CMC last year.
yeah,
Felt good at the time.
I had 18% CMC in Eliminator last year because I done most of my Eliminator before the news.
Oh, that's awful.
And I got super lucky with a bunch of 101s and 102s.
Yeah, that's I was running so hot at 101 and 102. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
okay, this is good right now
I
until it
felt
wasn't.
so good about it. I felt
Until
so
it
good.
wasn't.
Yeah. And like something that I haven't done a lot of in this is play solo running back and just go super deep wide receiver here.
Yeah, I like that
Um,
too because if your spikes hit right, then you're covering everybody in points.
yeah, and like just because wide receiver do fall here, so like you can have a nuts
Wide
uh
receiver room.
like 6 wide receiver and have a hero running back here and just have 6, right?
Especially because a lot of the running backs are probably going to get pushed up anyways. Like kind of is looking like it's going to be the case.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I don't talk negatively about people who draft Derrick Henry. Like I don't think it's a bad pick. It's just not a pick that I'm making myself very often. And the reason why is because I want to be overweight the players around him. So, like, I have a reason, and I'm okay with my reason. Kind of like I'm okay not having very much Amon Ra because I want to make sure I have more Nico and BTJ and Neighbors and Puka.
Which they all feel like this year they're probably better clicks than Amon Ra. Just
I've felt
given
that way the entire time.
just given the whole nature of the Detroit offense and everything, and if JMO's going to ascend like everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people think he's going to, then Amon Ra probably takes a little step back.
Yeah, and thanks for the shout out, Big Draft Energy. 32 likes. That's pretty awesome. We got 25 live viewers on YouTube. We got 31 likes I'm showing, but somebody probably double clicked it. That's easy to do. All right. So the next click, are you okay with, we can go elite, what, or all of the elites are available.
All of them are there, huh? And
And
then
to go to the schedule real quick,
yeah, there you go.
we got Baltimore, Buffalo play each other, and then Washington kind of goes rough. So they play each other.
Yeah, I like
Um,
Baltimore, Buffalo better there. Probably,
I think overall Buffalo is
I
better,
think
right?
Buffalo as well. Yeah, the Jets is
Okay,
a little
well
bit.
we'll take Jackson. The player before us took Josh Allen,
Oh, okay, yep, that works.
so
You're probably on the other tab.
yeah, yeah. Well, I switched back to it. I was keeping
Okay,
track of the time, uh, but yeah, I think I mean number one, like Lamar is my number one guy this year. He is my number one quarterback over Josh Allen. I do think that in this contest, maybe I'll have Josh Allen slightly above. Kind of like in weekly winners, I actually like Saquon because he play like I've talked about this several times. If you map out his 5 weeks versus NFC East opponents he had last year, he had 2,500 yards rushing if you take that over a 17-week span.
oh wow.
So like He gets 5 games in the regular season versus those teams. So, like, he had a game against Dallas, 106, like week 17. Everybody said, well, Saquon wasn't the guy you needed. He had 168 yards,
That's so
no
many.
touchdowns, and 2 receptions or something.
The Philly offense is like such a skeleton key this year.
Yeah, so I'm also Bijan 101. I'm at out of 43 eliminators now, I have 4% Bijan. I am not getting the 102 at all because he is my 102 click here.
And he's just gone if you don't get him.
And he goes every time I got the 103, Bijan goes, and I get Gibbs or Barkley. Because
I feel
I
that's
think
probably right. Putting
no
Gibbs all the way up to 4 there.
no I think it is as well. All right, so we got Lamar, we got Jonathan Taylor, we got Justin Jefferson. I am super good. Like, are you worried about Hampton early season?
Not really.
Okay, well,
Well,
neither is
someone
that
else
guy.
wasn't either. Yep.
Yeah. This is kind of where I think Marvin Harrison should go.
Yeah, I mean, if he's that far down, this is what we were talking about earlier, right?
Yep. And I
So,
believe so. Arizona actually has an awesome early schedule, too, by the way. I like him in this contest. New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco,
oh
Seattle,
man,
Tennessee, Indy.
that feels like one of the better schedules for
It
this.
really is. Like, I really like Trey McBride in this contest because of that. And I absolutely love James Conner. Like, James
Yeah,
Conner feels so good. He gets Carolina week 2.
that just feels like shootout potential for all those games.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, like who's really a defense in there you worry about?
Right. I mean, the Saints, I don't really know if it's
Maybe.
shootout potential, but for James Conner specifically, like the Saints are going to be, in my opinion, horrific. Like just awful.
And
So,
early in the season, do you think they're going to be, of sorts
yeah,
yet with everything going on?
right. And so, like James Conner to me, like let's say that they smash the first, like it's 17-7 or something at halftime. Like it might just be the James Conner or Trey Benson show in the second half.
Yeah, it could just be 75 yards apiece.
Yeah, and with James Conner being older, they might end up using Trey Benson a little more this year. Like, I don't mind Trey Benson in this contest. Like, I don't know how much I've taken him, but like they play a lot of teams that like are supposedly mediocre there, right? Like they played let me go back to that. But they play New Orleans, Carolina, San Francisco, all like 3 of the worst, like probably 8 defenses in the league, almost for sure, right?
You would think so.
And Seattle supposedly is going to be a good defense. I know they have a good pass defense. I don't know how good their run defense is, and that's just me not knowing. I'm not saying that they do or don't have a good defense, but I know that like they have some good players on the pass defense. But they were in several like shootouts last year, weren't they? Seattle.
Yeah, and they tend to, and now with Darnold versus Geno, it could be a little bit different. But they have played some higher scoring games in like the 30s the last couple of years. They had a couple games with the Lions, I remember the last couple of years that were like one. I think they won in overtime or something.
Yeah,
like 41-35 or something. So they definitely have shootout potential in them.
yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it's a really different team now, though. You got to think about with the wide receivers that are different.
I mean, we could pull, and these are actual my rankings from like 2 weeks ago for this contest. I'm okay pulling Connor up for team correlation here if you want. Not that
Yeah, if
team
you want
correlation
that,
matters a ton.
if we feel like the running backs are going to fall off a cliff in this contest, that might be a really good pick right there.
Yeah, and it's a different bye week there.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that if any of those guys, Rome, Olave, like I'm fine with any of these wide receivers. I'll come back. And in this room, weirdly, running backs aren't pushed up as heavy as usual.
No,
I
they
mean, this
haven't
is
been.
this is half a round too early, and that's kind of what I think. Like, if the running backs are just half a round earlier, that feels fine in this. But I've been in rooms where every like James Conner goes at the 4 or 5 turn. And it's like at that point, just take a bunch of receivers and just try to patch it together at the end.
Right, that seems too much. Like I can understand the half round bump on most wide or running backs, just given the nature of the contest. But once you're
Yeah.
moving them a whole round, that seems a lot.
Yeah, and James Young, like I'm not hating on really any players. I'm just looking at things in spots that I want more Bijan than Saquon, and I want more Jefferson than Bijan than 8%, and I want more Puka than 8%. So to do that, I'm just going to have to fade somebody. Kind of like the exact argument with the Derrick Henry thing. It's not a hate of the player. I also think that he like has the least chance. Like 498 touches scares me. Like I think it's 498. It was 490 plus. Like that does scare me. Madden cover also scares me. Like
If there's anybody that's built to handle it, it's probably Saquon,
and
but
Henry, like for sure. Like
and Derrick Henry, those two. But they're also at the point where they both had a lot of carries now.
yeah, and like I'm just looking at it as where do I shave off percentages of players like that I'm comfortable shaving off some percentage points here to get other players, right? Like because I want to build a portfolio that's close, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
if you have any sort of player takes or stands or anything, you're going to
right.
have similar.
And that's just the way I'm choosing to play it. That doesn't make
Right.
you having 22% wrong. Like I want more Bijan and I want more Puka and I want more JJ for sure. And if I can sacrifice 2%, if I could sacrifice 6% Saquon and you have like 2% of them, and then just have 11% of the two players I like, I will do that. So this is interesting. Do you like Rome? I think we'll look at these two positions. Rome, Jacoby Myers, uh, Travis Hunter, I don't love. What about Godwin? Take a gamble on him being available week one.
I mean, if he's available week one,
Yeah,
and he starts the year like he did last year, then that's a really good pick.
yeah, and if I remember right, they have an awesome early schedule as well. I'll read it off. They start at Atlanta, then they get Houston, which is rough. I guess Jets next, so maybe not. But like, I don't think like there's some offenses that I don't worry that much about who they go against because they can just score whenever they want. Like some weeks they will just score a bunch, and it doesn't matter who's defending them.
And Tampa
And
definitely seems like that offense.
Tampa's that offense, Cincinnati's that offense, Buffalo,
Tampa
Baltimore.
just, I think I'm at the point where I'm done counting out Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Like how many times has the guy just said, "All right, you're going to do it again. I'm going to do this to you again." Right, and
yeah,
we'd all be
right.
at 8.3%.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there will be some people doing 8.3% on everybody, and they will have unique teams to my portfolio for sure. Uh, 35 eliminators, take a Saquon 101. Yeah, I'm fully okay with that. Like take a Saquon 101, a Neelam, like makes some sense. Week one, they play Dallas. Or no, they play Buffalo. Wait. No,
Yep.
they play Dallas and then they play KC and then they play the Rams.
This will
And
be a
they
pretty interesting. My bad, didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah. No, it's all good. They smashed like Saquon smashed the Rams last year, right? And
It, it
then he also had 168 against the Cowboys the one game he played. So
would be interesting, like what you're saying with Saquon, what some of these teams look like after week one, when one of the pieces that you think is going to be a high advance rate piece has a dud of
yeah.
a game.
Do you like these guys? Do you want to get Laporta since he's kind of fallen? I mean,
There's
or
a
do you
little
like
bit of a fall there.
what do you like?
In that range, probably Diggs or Pearsall. But we could also Laporta in that range is a little bit of what pick are we at?
We are in the middle of the board.
Okay.
70. We're basically
Yeah.
yeah at ADP for him. So we ended up getting Pearsall.
Yeah, that's fine.
We were
I that's
exactly
why I
at
was
ADP.
I was wondering if I don't like taking Laporta at ADP. I'd like to let him
Well,
fall. If he comes back, then take him.
well, for Eliminator, like having a tight end that has
Yeah,
an ability to score 15 points
that's
does
true as
matter.
well. That's true.
And this is the ADP I like him at in regular style contest. Um, and I kind of think he's a better pick in this format if his ADP is going to be there.
I didn't really think about it till you said that, but yeah, in this format, he's probably a better pick.
Yeah, and does that mean I think he should go where he was going at the beginning of the season? And he's another one. The entire time I've been talking about how he was so bad of a pick at like 64 over
Right up
everybody.
there, it felt awful.
And now his ADP's fallen to like 71 or something, I believe. What do you think about stacking conference rivals for Eliminator, like Hertz and Dax?
I mean, if you get shootout
I
games when they play each other,
I don't think it matters for Eliminator, but that is actually my normal strategy for weekly winners.
yeah, weekly winners, it seems really good.
Um, like like that's what Big Draft Energy and I did, in that we targeted all NFC South. And we had the number one pass catcher for all the NFC South teams. And we got 3 of the quarterbacks, I think. So like we're just looking for shootouts for those when those teams play each other. We're looking for shootouts. And I don't remember, we had decent running backs as well. Because all of the NFC South wide receivers go late, right?
All the
Like
ones do.
Tet's like in the 4th, Olave's you could get in the 5th, Godwin or Evans, like you can get one of those as well with them, right? Pretty easily. And uh and then like you can easily add on like a Shaheed or an Igbuka or something. Like you can just fully stack out that division. And you have
They're also
3,
free.
yeah, and you have 3 spike week guys like at, I mean, I would love Laporta back.
Right. I'm hoping that's what I was thinking. Does he make it all the way back?
I mean, if we don't get him, and we probably won't, what do you think we should do? We got Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Pierce Hall. I feel really good about that wide receiver room. All right.
If,
I think it's an instant click, right?
yeah, I mean, if he made it all the way back after taking another pick, then absolutely.
Um, well, ADP, it will. I have to refresh. For some reason, my browser, it did this earlier and it made me try to log back in. Um,
Oh, I wish I could take the reins.
yeah, it's a browser issue. It's Chrome, man. I do not like Chrome. Like, yes, I love Best Ball Overlay. Since I've went to Chrome, I've had nothing but issues. And Mozilla, I never once have had an issue with it.
It's crazy because like I use Chrome and I have so minimal issues.
I have, well, I also, so I usually have like 15 to 17 tabs up
Okay,
between
see, I
3
try and
different
keep
browsers,
that. I try to
between
keep
3 or
that
4
to a
different
minimum.
browsers. And I do that no matter what. Like on Mozilla, I never had a problem with it. On Chrome, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it at
No,
all.
it definitely doesn't.
But I have, so like especially for when I stream, like I keep this chart up at all times. I keep this up at all times. I keep this up at all times. I keep this up at all times. So I can just kind of cycle through when I need to talk about something, right? And I can just click the share tab and it's there.
That's
And then I also keep up the StreamYard link, and then I have a YouTube link as well, like the YouTube live feed in another window, just in case I want to make a poll, because you have to have
right.
that window up for a poll,
Right.
right? Did Laporta get kidnapped during the draft? He did.
He did in that round.
And we're gonna make him walk the plank here at the Who Crew. He's gonna have to go out there by himself, and he's gonna have to make some decisions. But you can't have multiple tabs open with Chrome. They all run in the background, and it's the Achilles heel of Chrome. Yeah, I'm learning because I don't like Chrome. Like I don't. Number one, like I think Chrome's dark mode is much worse. We talked about that before. Like, so I made all these charts and color coordinated them, made them all pretty on Mozilla. And the dark mode stuff you get on Chrome changed the way that all of these files look. Uh, all the coloring is different. So I definitely
All that
like
work.
I literally spent like 7 hours trying to figure out the color coordination on this stuff to get it perfect for what I wanted it. And then whenever I switch to Chrome, it doesn't matter anymore. Uh, but that's my problem. All right, so we're gonna go through the team real quick. We got a 1-2-4-1. This is an eliminator for those who were just starting. We got Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall, and Sam Laporta. This feels really good. We got a 11 pick discount on Ricky Pearsall. We got a 10, 9, 8 or 9, 8 pick discount on Marvin Harrison. Like, yeah, we pulled some people up, but I think I love the team so far. We'll
Yeah,
click running back.
especially the running backs we have, I feel like are in a good with given your chart should have good advancement
Yeah.
chance.
So Cooper, I was getting ready to say Cooper Cup at 103 seems fine.
Yeah, once he's at 100, I don't hate that click then.
So I like Rashid Shaheed. I don't mind Sharbs here. I don't mind Stevenson here.
What do you feel we need to go running back here yet, or are we okay taking receiver in this because of the contest nature?
I think we could take a wide receiver here.
Okay, let's take Shaheed then.
So we're just going to play for flexing a wide receiver first week, right? And we have 2 really good matchups. Like James Conner has awesome matchups early season, and Jonathan Taylor has pretty good matchups early in the season because Taylor goes at Miami. Like week 2 against Denver might not be great, but he gets Miami and then Denver, but then at Tennessee, at Rams, Vegas, Arizona, and Arizona gets at New Orleans, Carolina, at San Francisco, Seattle, Tennessee. So like those are really good.
For a good start. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we have to dodge one of the best defenses in the league in Denver, but they're also a better pass defense than a run defense, right? So Jonathan Taylor, like overall, their defense is awesome. And the Colts probably won't score a ton of points that week. But Jonathan Taylor is probably the player you would want on the Colts if you want a Colts player that week.
Right, because you feel like everyone else is most likely not going to have a nuke week against that defense.
Absolutely. And like to be honest, like between Charbonnet and the contingent backs, like he's just a contingent back that is a little more expensive.
They all kind of feel the same, don't they?
Yeah, and like 100% honesty, like I think I honestly like Tajay Spears over Zach Charbonnet straight up.
Yeah, if they're you that think too, especially with a rookie quarterback, they're probably going to lean on the run game more to take some of the pressure off him. James Young's not wrong there. I'm sure if you have 15 tabs open all the time, it's probably the full 16 gig.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if he's there.
But
just
yeah. I mean, either one, right? Like
I think both of those
we could be done at wide receiver. That's fine.
I think we could be done at probably either or, couldn't we?
Which one do you want to be done at? I think being done at tight end feels better.
I think that feels better as well because you have two good offense tight ends there in a format where you need a spike week every.
You can flex. Cody was talking about his eliminator strategy yesterday, and he was talking about going like if he gets a Laporta and not take another guy to like Chig and treating it as a redraft. I get that. But like I like in the finals I made last year, I flexed tight end. So like telling me that like to not take a value because it's a tight end. Like, and I'm not saying that he said that, right? Like this is a value and it's a stack. I believe that if he was in this situation, he might have made the same click. although he wouldn't want to, right, with his
It,
strategy.
I understand the if you spend capital at a
Yeah,
tight end earlier, not wanting to if you're going to go three or because you spent the one earlier, not doing it till late. But I feel like if you can shore up two that are known commodities in their offense and be done there, that's a lot better than playing the guessing game later.
yeah, and Thad is right. Like Spears could easily be the 1B. That's what they were talking preseason last year. This year they've talked about even maybe running three different running backs. Uh, and yeah, this I I've never had an issue doing exactly what I do on Mozilla when I was doing it on Mozilla. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I
it's because Chrome sucks up so much of your memory.
right. And to be honest, I need to clear the cache right now. Like I need to do that. I haven't done it this week. So, and on Mozilla, I've literally never cleared it. Like I've literally never
Yeah,
cleared it
the one
in
thing
like
about
3 years.
Chrome it logs everything. So if you don't clear it out, it just starts to bog down.
Yeah. Yeah. And today's the first day I've noticed it. And it's been about a week. So that's probably on me. I'm just new to Chrome, mostly, is what this is. Learning the ins and outs. I do think our next pick has to be a running back, though.
That's what I was thinking as well.
I mean, if they want to give us Bateman back,
Oh, that's so
I
tough to not do it, isn't it?
I mean, to be like I'm fully on board, and then
We can do that. Hammer run. Yep.
just shots. Like we would literally be done at every position other than
Okay.
quarterback, right? If we did that,
I mean, that's what I was thinking. After that, then we
yeah.
just pepper running back and quarterback out the door.
And Luther Burden falling like he should in this contest.
Yeah, you
So
would think he's not going to be a good early season pick.
so I would prefer one of these three
Me
because
as well.
Tootin is the same bye week as
Oh, definitely. Yep. You want to watch that.
so which one do you prefer?
Oh,
So Tennessee plays
do you like Rashad's early season schedule better if he gets work? But do you
uh
think he'll even get in the game?
so we're good. So Tajay plays the Broncos week 1.
Okay, that's what I was asking was if you
Yeah.
like White better there based on the matchup.
And that's what I was just looking up. It took me a second to find. So like Tampa Bay plays Houston week 2, but Atlanta week 1, and Tennessee plays Denver week 1 and Rams week 2.
Yeah,
So
that doesn't feel as good.
it doesn't like I would rather get the better week 1 matchup, right? Uh if one's going to be good and one's going to be bad, I would rather have the better week 1 matchup, right?
And the Tampa offense, we feel like Rashad White's still going to have a role. So
Yes.
in the event that he spikes in like after the first week, if those first two guys get us through and gets us through another week, then that's a real good pick there.
Oh, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing with Chrome. Like I'm brand new to Chrome. Like I am not a good like I will eventually get there, but I don't know. I've used Mozilla, like I said, I've used Mozilla for 20 years or
I did
however
use
long it's been around.
Mozilla forever, and it's so nice. Though, like you said, best ball overlay. That's the reason I'm using Chrome.
Yeah, well, and to be honest, like Chrome is very interactive with StreamYard too. Like
Extremely, extremely.
so it has its uses. Like it's definitely I think it'll be fine whenever I get all the kinks worked out. I mean, I will take Tootin here at 138 if he comes all the way back.
Yeah, if you mix it all the way back there, that's we're just having fun then.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else in that range that I think running back wise I like. None of our quarterbacks. Nothing. No, I think Tootin's probably the click if he's there.
Yeah. And if he's not,
Okay, so
do
now what do we think?
we could,
Jaden Blue
I don't
shot.
like Jaden Blue, but
No, I'm not the. I've been waiting for more clarity on that whole thing.
yeah.
And actually, Miles
Eckler,
Sanders.
we could just snag a random quarterback here, like a Geno, just a random.
That's your call on either of those. If you think we need Eckler, or we could just take Geno and backstack.
I mean, we don't even really need to stack
Yeah,
in
I mean, we
this.
can just
We'll
yeah,
just
we can
take
just take
Gino.
them. Yeah, I mean, with the offense, they should score a lot of points. Should have a lot
Sorry,
of.
sorry over here. Oh, he's got 3 quarterbacks already. He got Joe Burrow, Kyler, and the Bowers drafter. Bowers and Kittle. What kind of sorcery is this? We got Jameer Gibbs, Brock Bowers, T. Higgins, George Kittle, Kenneth Walker, Joe Burrow, Aaron Jones, Kyler Murray. Wide receiver 2, Brandon Ayuk.
So I think his username is if you just have your fingers on the home keys and smash them down.
Yeah, I think he's autoing.
That's what I was trying to figure
No,
it
I'm
out.
pretty sure he's auto drafting. This is Jack Powell,
Oh, okay.
and I'm fairly positive something happened and he's not able to be at the keyboard because this doesn't look like something he would normally do.
I was trying to figure out what was going on when you scrolled up there. I didn't even
I
notice that until you scrolled
I
up.
I was looking at the Brock Bowers drafter, see if we snipe somebody, like because that's before ADP by a lot.
Yeah.
But we just need a guy, and all the quarterbacks are going.
All the quarterbacks went. When I saw Bryce Young go and then Penix, I was like, wow, we're probably getting down to not many quarterbacks left.
Yeah.
So yeah, good eye on that. I might have let that slide, not intentionally, but just wouldn't have caught it.
It's easy to not catch stuff in these rooms for sure.
Especially this is different contest, so I'm not used to like the where some of the people move up on the board.
Right. I am getting the link to the Big Draft Energy stream right now. That way we can port it on over there whenever we're done.
That's awesome. Does it link right to it? So when this ends, it'll give a link right to it.
I don't know how to do that. I just type it
Okay.
in the chat at the end, and people can
I
click it.
wasn't sure if there's a way you could do that. That'd be awesome.
You
I'm sure
can
there
set
is,
up an
yeah.
auto redirect. You can definitely do that. I don't know how to do that yet. Because that's what like Pete will do for Davis, like strip chasing to them sometimes, or I know that that's possible. I'm not quite there.
It'd be sweet to get a stream of best ball stream, a whole string of best ball streamers going throughout the day, one that linked one after another.
Right. Yeah. I mean, in networking, that's part of what that'll be. The problem is that like, I don't know how many drafts I'm going to do most of the time.
Right. It's not static. You don't know when you're going to end.
But if I was like if it was a weekly show that I knew was going to end at an hour, it'd be one thing. I mean, if Eckler Blue is back here.
Wow, they made it all the way back, huh?
I mean, we could.
And Jack Bash.
I mean, it is a rookie in eliminator.
And I think we're probably all right at wide receiver still.
Yeah.
We need I think Eckler probably. If I don't hate either one of them. Yeah, I think in this contest, probably Eckler.
Let's look at the schedule.
Yeah.
Washington is Giants, Green Bay, and then Vegas, Atlanta, Chargers. And who's the other one? Blue would be Philadelphia, Giants, Chicago, Green Bay. It sounds like Eckler. His first 2 games are rough, and then he gets 3 really good games.
And we might not even need him the first 2 games. We're just hoping, bet on the offense somewhere.
And week 2, Tampa Bay. So week 2, our running backs kind of have it rough because we get Pittsburgh, or we get Houston, we get Green Bay, and we get Denver. So
could it be worse?
It would be like, who does Philly play week 2? Like, you know, like we need to add them for the theme, right? Week 2, Kansas City. So we need to add Brashard Smith. Yeah, and so I'm fine openly talking in case people want, but like Cedric Tillman, I like him this year.
Feels like a really good value, no matter who their quarterback is, doesn't he?
It really does. And Josh and Hayden have been talking him up. I think he's going to start to sneak up, like in all the formats. As you see, I have him rated 8 picks before ADP. I have him above Josh Palmer, and Josh Palmer is a really good pick for this format if you need that style of player.
Yeah, if you need a floor, it
We
feels like he'd be
we
great.
kind of need a shot guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
At wide receiver. Like we got Jefferson, Harrison, like to hold down the fort, and then we got some upside guys. Like Godwin, if he's healthy, is an absolute smash. Um, I mean, we just do this, right?
Yeah, at that point, 20 picks after,
Yeah, we'll
23.
just. Do I love it? No, absolutely
But
not.
but for taking running backs early and then kind of neglecting them for a while to have them both fall like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Connor's a stud. Like
No,
he's really good. When I say stud, I mean like he's not a top 10 running back
no, he's
by
solid.
ADP. But and he's very good for what we have going on. But yeah. And anybody who's here, thank you for showing up. If you have not, please smash that like. And as I said before, Anthony here, as you can see, he's sharp. He knows ball,
I'm learning it.
learning. He is new to streaming, or he's not really necessarily new to streaming. He hasn't had time to do it recently.
Yeah, I wish.
Um, but he's like as he was saying earlier, he thinks he's going to be able to get a time in to do it at least every other day, something like that, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get him in. I think early in the morning is gonna be my best bet, just to give everybody stay in their time slots. And
yeah,
because I work early in the morning, getting up early is probably just the most logical thing to do.
yeah, and yeah, since you're a morning person, like it makes absolute sense. And like, there's nothing wrong with just watching it back later, listening to it later. Like, but go down. His stuff is in the descriptions. Give him a follow if you enjoy what he's bringing to the table. I'm having a good time. I think we've drafted. He is a Panthers fan.
I'm a
We
Panthers fan for football, sports teams. I'm in the Detroit market, so as far as other big sports, Red Wings, Pistons, Tigers, but football is the one where I kind of deviate a little bit. And I'm a Notre Dame fan and a Panthers fan.
all right. So we have our 2 quarterbacks. We have some running backs. Like I have 30% Pat Bryant and Eliminator.
Yeah, Pat Bryant's your guy. Well aware of that at this point.
Um, I mean, I'm fine with either one of these players, like any of these. I think we do need a wide receiver though.
Yeah, I think Pat Bryant and Pop Douglas seems like he'd be a good eliminator play as well. If you
Yeah,
want to balance your exposure, I'm cool with either one of those there.
yeah. I kind of need to. I don't want to.
Right. I saw
Like
that number and I was like, he might want to do that just to do it.
what, the 17?
The 17 and the 4. Just if especially in this, because I feel
Well,
like Pop Douglas
that
could be.
that's not my eliminator exposure.
Oh, that's your
That
overall.
that's my eliminator.
I knew you were way more impact. I thought
That
that felt low.
that is my eliminator exposure.
It felt low to me.
No,
I was like, man, I felt like it felt like 20% didn't even come close, but it didn't.
well, and Pat Bryant, like, whoops, that's the wrong tournament. There we go. Um, let's remove that. There we go. Yeah, so like I fully 100% fully expect Pat Bryant to be starting week 1 and have a
That
role week
feels
1.
correct.
And in eliminator, he goes 15 picks later. So like I get most of those shares of Pat Bryant are 185 plus.
Yeah, so they
Oh,
were all like dirt cheap, like damn near free.
right. And like I still take him quite a bit. Like I have a ton of him in Superflex too. Uh and in the regular contest, like people tend to take him more, like in like the schnauzers and stuff like that. Well, in those, I tend to build more towards correlation for some reason. And like in this, I don't care about correlation.
Right, correlation doesn't
And
matter as much.
and in Superflex, like you only need 2 wide receivers, so I don't care that much about like I have some correlation somewhere, but I don't care that much about it, right?
That, and you probably just don't see him as much because you're drafting wide receivers later in the super flex contest. Like if he's
Well,
there, he's there, but
I see
not
them
even
all the
really
time
thinking
because
about
I'm always drafting wide receivers late.
it.
So
Right.
yeah,
That's
so
true.
like yeah, I like taking an upside swing here with a
Yep.
Jarquez or a Marshawn Lloyd
And I
or a
don't like getting,
Shipley.
yeah, because we have Taylor already. So of
What are you
those, probably
thinking?
Jarquez. Of those three, Jarquez.
Yeah, I'm actually Jarquez over Shipley, I think.
They're probably close, but I feel like with what we're doing here,
Yeah.
I like Jarquez there better.
Yeah, and that gives us six wide or running backs. Like I'm fine stopping with these two quarterbacks and fine stopping with those two. So what? What do you think? We got Jonathan Taylor, Connor, White, Eckler, Blue, Hunter. Do we want to go 7-7 or do we want to go 6-8?
I think probably the nature of the contest would be 7-7, just to try and cover more bases there. What do you think though? You're more the expert in this
I
contest.
I think with the capital we like I don't know. We
There's a lot
have
of
like
capital at
equal
wide receiver.
kind of.
Yeah, kind
Um
of. That's interesting.
um but we got a ton of value there
We did get
like
value,
at Harrison. Like we got an
but
extra third round pick. We basically traded a third round pick for a fourth round pick, right?
right.
So like we got it. It's stronger than it should be. I mean, we did like
We
I just think
jumped up.
Godwin's mispriced, but I think we definitely go wide receiver next,
Yeah, let's do
and
that, and then we
and then
can leave
see
the
what
last pick
happens.
open. Right. I agree with that.
Like I'm pretty comfortable with this,
Yeah, I think our
honestly.
running back room's pretty decent. We could
We
probably go two receivers if we had to.
Yeah, we got two bell cow guys. Then we got two people who will have a role on an offense, and then two rookie shots. And one of those rookie shots at a massive discount.
Massive discount on blue. Yeah, I would like going two wide receivers here if you don't hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that I think that's the right call. I didn't know Rick Carlisle was coach of the Pistons before Larry Brown took over. Rick
Yeah, I
Carlisle was
believe Rick Carlisle, they won like 50 games or something with the Pistons right before Larry, and they kind of ran him out of town because they felt like he couldn't get him over the hump. And then they hired Larry Brown and won the title. It was either the year or the next year. Rick Carlisle was a really good coach, though.
man. I I haven't watched basketball since Harden left the Thunder.
It's been tough, like for me, the last 10 years or so, just because of some of the player movement and everything. Not that
Yeah.
it's hard to follow, but just year to year, people are just creating super teams and whatnot.
All
But
right.
basketball, it was just great in the 90s, I thought.
So we took another floor play. We need upside shots. I like Mitchell. I like Calvin Austin. I don't mind Ray Ray.
Yeah,
Well,
80 Mitchell, I feel like, is probably the best home run swing out of that, regardless of who the quarterback is. And
I agree.
you're hoping that if he's in the Anthony Richardson's the quarterback by then, if
Well,
if it's in the playoff weeks where you want that upside swing.
and you see,
Not the not
I have him buried.
Oh, he is down there, yeah. 230. I'll take him every now and then, depending on the contest in the last round, just because it's D Hop in the last round, especially if I have Lamar.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I know I have him buried. You can see how much Chrome is struggling right now.
Yeah, it's flickering on you.
Yeah. I have a share of him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a single share of him in the 160 drafts I've done. And I don't think I've taken him in Eliminator yet. But to be honest, like I don't think this is the team for him. I think we need another guy like a Mitchell
Another upside guy. Yeah, that's
or
what
a
I was thinking too.
Troy Franklin,
MV,
MVS.
MVS was my other thought. I know that's your speed right there.
Yeah. And honestly, all of these bye weeks are kind of perfect with each other. Like we have Harrison for week 8. We don't have another week 12 and we don't have another week 5. So MVS would be the last one because he's the only one that has a paired bye week. and then those two don't. Like, do you like that?
Yeah, if
I mean, I'm fine with MVS just straight up over them too. Like, I'm not
I
that
am
worried about
too,
it.
but I didn't notice the bye week thing until you said that. If you don't think it matters, then you can definitely click
I don't
MVS
think
in
it
there.
real. If we get to week 8, we're happy.
Right. If we get there, we're happy with it anyhow. That's what I think. So
Yeah.
I can
So
get behind the MVS click there.
yeah, me too. And we probably just talked other players into that. What do you think about Dontavian Wicks?
I think if he catches the ball, he'd be good.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's part of the whole process that you need to score points, not just get open. So, like, he gets open is the worst part. If he can
Yeah,
just
he
catch the
really
ball,
does. He's
I feel like he'd be a
awesome.
great pick.
Yeah,
Just
he's
catch the
awesome at
ball.
getting open. All right, so we got a 2683 or 2682. Lamar Gino, Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, Rashad White, Austin Eckler, Jaden Blue, Jarquez Hunter, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison, Chris Godwin, Ricky Pearsall, Rashid Shaheed, Demario Douglas, Adonai Mitchell, Marquez Valdez Scantling, Laporta, Andrews. I love the team.
I like that team.
I like we didn't overstack. We have a single stack. We didn't even worry about stacking our other guy. Tons of value. I love how these two play in the early weeks, and then how we have two guys, and then some potential late season smash. Right?
Shout out to your chart helping us make that running back room happen.
Yeah, I think that that worked out very well for sure.
I dig it.
So if Mitchell had a quarterback, they wouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, this is a fact. Get Wicks, him and Mitchell are the same player. I mean, Wicks made sense for this team. It did. Like, I
It
will
did.
agree. I just never think about Wicks because he always his ADP is actually low enough now that I may start mixing them in.
Yeah, now I think it's low enough where I'm like, okay, I could get behind that.
Who would you say has a higher floor or better outlook, Coker or Leggett? Higher
Floor,
floor? The floor
floor
is Coker.
is
Like,
Coker for sure.
highest ceiling is absolutely Leggett.
Yeah, ceiling, if
Like,
Leggett hits it, he's definitely got a ceiling play that we didn't see last year.
hey, go ahead and shout yourself out, and I will close and send everybody over to Big Draft Energy channel.
All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. My channel is Bestball on Call. I'll leave a comment afterwards. Anybody else that wants to do that, that's a great way to gain exposure throughout the community. I want to thank Hames for letting me jump on his channel and show me the ropes on some of these other drafts I'm not so used to doing. And I will catch you guys all in the drafting streets soon enough.
Yeah, had a great time. We drafted two great teams, and very very much enjoyed the conversations.
Always a good time with who.
And the link in the chat. Everyone, please go to that channel. Type in hashtag Who Crew. We'll give him a little old raid. Peace out, everybody. Take care.
See you guys.